I don't know where they are. Don't know where they are. Left, 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 left.
Welcome back to day 8. You join us just having come down off the Llanberis Pass, and now we're heading off towards Capel-Curig. The road is still the A4086, and later we'll be picking up the A5 for a little bit. First though, we got this little beauty to play with, although I'm not quite sure I like the look of those clouds up ahead. So far the roads have been very similar to Scotland. Pretty good surfaces, nice and quick, but with enough curves to keep you interested. If the roads don't do it for you, the scenery certainly will. Now this bloke I'm coming up behind now is riding a Yamaha Tracer. It's obviously the basic version, because it hasn't ridden across the grass yet, or been rolling around on the floor like Steve's does. So he's obviously not had it specced up with the off-road / Coco the Clown dismount pack. Here we're turning right to that was Q WS Coed. Anyhow, that's where we're going, and I believe they pronounce it Versys Coed. So they've made it shallow, Steve. Steve's obviously eyeing up those grass verges, looking for the shortcut again.
Get a cone, John. Go on, do it. Do it. I want to see it. Oh! Go on, John. Go on. Hey! Oh, I didn't have my camera on. No, I did.
Now it'd be really easy to moan about these roadworks going on for so long, but after praising up the road surfaces earlier, that I think would be a bit hypocritical. They could do like Dorset Council do and just stick a 1 centimetre thick patch here and there, but they don't mess around here. The whole bloody lot's being done. As we get a bit closer, have a look at the faces of half of these people sat in this queue. They're either severely constipated or totally fed up at having to sit in that lot for ages. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we ride motorcycles. Now I'm pretty sure they came up with the name for this place by throwing a bag of Scrabble letters in the air and seeing what it produced. But stupid name aside, this is one busy little town. It took us ages to get into the place, Took us ages to get through the place, and quite frankly, we couldn't wait to get out the place. Thankfully, we could soon pick up with the A470, which, from previous experience, we knew was a much better road that we can actually get out of second gear and get a hoon on again. Or at least that's what we thought. It seems the Welsh Highways Division heard that a load of mad Englishmen were coming and decided to use the whole country's allocation of white paint and stuff it straight down the middle of the A470. Now don't get me wrong, I love white paint. My doors and skirting boards at home are covered in the shit. But there were lots of straight sections along this bit that didn't need double white lines. Clearly someone was bored. I beg your pardon, Ash's is, but he ignored it. Oh, Mike's just been shot out that circus cannon again. Oh look, he's landed just in front of me. Now someone who clearly wasn't bored was the bin man.
Civic's gone for it. Oh, we got a little race on, boys. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Bloody hell, a broken white line, we'll have some of that. The A470 goes through a village called Dolwyddelan. I think I pronounced that right. After that, the roads are much better. They're the kind of roads bikes were made to ride on. Well, the weird and wacky place names just keep coming. This town has something to do with fisting a dog. And after all the picturesque and scenic places that we'd ridden through, this place looked really dull and dreary. I can imagine most people who live here spend their life on the phone with the Samaritans.
Can you hear us? It's left in the roundabout.
with me, Steve? Under the bridge and left. Now, dull and dreary that place may have been, but it got us onto this, the B4391 towards Bala. What a road! Well, that road was absolutely bonkers. Even with all those bends and steep drop-offs, it's still definitely a road that encourages you to have a hoon for most of the way. Although I suspect even Uncle Fester was a bit wary about cutting the grass on that one. Now it's onto the A4212 towards Bala, and if it's still open, a planned coffee stop.
that sounds good.
74 miles it says.
How long?
74. Driving as Joe blogs would take an hour and 52.
I can't hear you, mate.
Oh, am I not on? That's better. It's apparently driving like Joe blogs would take you an hour and 52. Oh, good protocol. He's off again, look. Lake Bala, or Llanberis, is 4 miles long and 1 mile wide at its widest point. That makes it the largest natural lake in Wales. Quite salty. Go on, come on in, all of you. All of you, there's plenty. Left you loads. Left you plenty in the tank. Clearly a biker. Or he knew we were members of the AA as well. The Association of Assholes. Now this is the type of bend that the burger van loves. Big sweepers. And those 1250 RSs love every bend. Well, not every bend, as you'll see on the last day. It's amazing how quickly you cover miles when you can keep up this kind of pace. To do it on a road like this is even more enjoyable. Most of the time we were lucky. When we did come up behind other traffic, we had a clear road like that ahead of us and we were able to just zip straight past it.
Clear. Just got some solid whites in a minute. Just when you think it couldn't get any better, we hit this section. Because it's all closed in by trees, I think it makes it an even better section to ride. Although I'd imagine in the damp this gets quite bloody greasy through here. Here we pick up the A470. That's probably one of the best known roads in the whole of Wales. Once past the Starbucks and the garage on the left, it's a 2-lane climb with a bit of a curve to the right halfway up. Best thing about that curve, you don't really have to throttle off that much to get round it. Now I was quite impressed with that little blue Suzuki in front. Not only was it getting a shifty on, but it was doing it uphill. Now if you watch closely here, you'll see it's a bend to the right here. And as we switch to ash, it's a bend to the left. Watch the car. Well wide she did.
Now that car crossed the white line in the middle as it went round that bend. Well, Uncle Fester never likes to be outdone, so anything they can do, he can do better. Now not only did he come round the bend, over the white line and on the wrong side of the road,
he put the fear of God not only into himself, but every other motorist around him. When I took the mickey earlier about him flirting with the verges and trimming the grass, never in the month of Sundays did I think he'd go all Paris-Dakar on us and go full off-road. You're a lucky boy, Fester. A very lucky boy. I think it must have been somewhere around here that Mike noticed he wasn't getting blinded by that tracer headlight anymore, so thought he'd better pull over and go back and help pull him out the bush. That's the Mercedes that Steve would have been alongside right on that bend. Now as he turned round, Mike noticed a motorcyclist coming towards him. The bloke was in tears and had shit dripping out of his trouser legs. Of course it was Uncle Fester. It takes more than near death and unintentionally riding through the Himalayas to keep him down. So after calling ambulances for all those drivers with palpitations, and a helicopter for the one that left the road and shot through the air down to the valley below, Steve did his mirror, signal, manoeuvre and got back onto some tarmac. All joking aside, that could have turned out a lot worse. And no wonder, Mr. Fester, you needed 5 minutes to pull over and compose yourself. Now further up the road, the rest of us were cracking on, blissfully unaware of all the shenanigans that had gone on behind us. Now remember those clouds I didn't like the look of earlier? Seems we've caught up with them. And that's a shame, because this section of the 470, as you drop down over in a minute, the view is amazing. Now whoever came up with an idea of carving a road for all this beautiful landscape, good on you. It's very similar to the Rest and Be Thankful up in Scotland. The rain was getting harder by the time we turned onto the A458 to get us over towards Welshpool and then over to Shrewsbury and our bed for the night at the travel lodge there. Despite all the rain, another great day of riding, and even though Uncle Fester did his best to meet his maker, he lives to finish the tour tomorrow. As you can see, the rain was relentless, so both of the cameras got put away. You're not missing much. Most of the footage was just of my arm as I spent the rest of the ride wiping my visor. Join us though for day 9 when we cut across the Brecons, across the Severn Bridge, back into Dorset and then home.